And a priest has been kicked out of his home and his church over a situation many in the community find themselves in every day. His crime? He got a divorce. That one decision has turned his life upside down, and he now faces financial ruin and homelessness. Anglican priest Father David Smith appeared on Channel 9's A Current Affair tonight. Here's what he had to say.
I was given sort of 6 months to get my marriage back together or recognise that I'd be terminated.
How did that make you feel?
It's hard. I mean, for me, this isn't just what I do, it's very much who I am.
The priest of 30 years divorced, a sin in Anglican eyes so great, it's unforgivable. Father Dave effectively ostracised, banned from preaching, the Sunday service, performing weddings and baptisms, and next week he'll be homeless, booted from the church grounds and told he's no longer one of them. His career over.
This is a church that prides itself on love and acceptance. It's hard to understand why they would put you through this.
There's a certain irony there, yeah. Look, it's tougher some days than others, you know. Some days I find it debilitating, but, you know, I'm a fighter. I've got to pick myself up, try and focus on the future for myself and my children.
Robbo, divorce is a common occurrence, but it's still taken very seriously within the church. What do you reckon? Is this an over-the-top reaction, or is it fair enough on their part?
Absolutely fair enough. You know the rules when you start. You know the rules when you play a football game, when you play cricket. There are also certain things you need to adhere to in any kind of employment. It doesn't matter if it's with the church or if it's with a private company, it's the corner shop or a Fortune 500 organisation. It doesn't matter. There are rules, and he knew about them. The other thing is, I would never want anyone to be homeless. I never want anyone to go through pain like this. But he's been part of a church that is also vilified and being negative against many groups of people throughout the community over his 30-year career. If he's in the Anglican Church, we just have to assume that he's believed in all of those things. So, I mean, it's kind of coming around to you. And I think, you know, that's just the way it is. You knew the rules when you started. I'm very sorry that your marriage failed. But you knew the rules when you asked that woman to marry you. You knew what the chances are of it failing, and that would mean that you'd have to leave the church. Sorry, what? So are we going to start changing the rules? Because remember, religion is very rule based.
All right, I think we've pulled a bit of a scab back there, but. What I would say, Robbo, this guy actually seems to be very progressive. He's a very liberal-minded priest,
It's
by all accounts.
the terms and conditions of his employment. His employment by the church are those rules. He has broken those rules, then he can't be employed by the church.
You're actually going to find this shocking, Robbo. I agree with you.
Oh my God,
it's not
you
like
too.
a normal job. It is a job within the church. Angeli,
Correct.
I know you disagree. I'm seeing you shake your head.
I do.
I'm going to give you the floor.
You know, it actually made me cry, and I'm getting a bit emotional just thinking about this poor guy, like what he's given to the church and how they can treat him like this. Sorry. You know, the first Anglican was Henry VIII. The first Anglican was Henry VIII, you know, and he loved himself a bit of a divorce, didn't he? You know, I'm divorced and I'm practicing Anglican. And this story makes me really embarrassed to be one because, okay, yes, the church has a lot to answer for, but all the way through, you know, it preaches forgiveness, etc., and that, you know, we are all human and the only perfect entity was Jesus Christ and God. Where is the forgiveness here? And, you know, it's absolutely no wonder at all why, you know, the youth congregation is going down a bloody U-bend. It's because there's no one for them to relate to. There are just these, you know, gnarly old goat dudes preaching about, you know, smiting and being smote. They should be kissing Father Dave's feet for all the wonderful things that he brought to the church. Okay, say they put Father Dave aside. His 4 children, for God's sake, they didn't get divorced. How can the church punish them? Literally, what the hell? I'm just incredulous. at this. And yeah, I am a bit emotional.
Which is fair enough. And I do love your passion. But I do come back to it. As a priest, you do know the rules. And one of those rules is not getting a divorce. I think this
rules
guy,
need to be overhauled. Rules are
I don't
overhauled all the
disagree.
time.
I
This is just
don't
shocking.
disagree
It's
with you.
absolutely shocking.
But when you're in that arena, do you have to accept the rules of the game? Yes, push for change. And as I said, this guy seems very liberal-minded. He seems like you know what? If there was a priest I was going to sit down and have a drink with and have a chat with, this is the guy, I think. I'm really drawn to him by what I've seen in the articles and on A Current Affair tonight. But I've got a lot of problems with the church, what they've allowed, what they've covered up. I think in the scheme of things, a guy getting a divorce is not a big deal when there's been abuse and all that, all that kind of stuff. But these are the rules of the institution he's in, isn't it, Ange?
Well, this is the perfect time to, everybody get together, put your goat dude heads together and figure something out, because this is dealing with people's emotions, not something that was written in a book centuries ago. This is about, you've got to get with the times. I mean, even, people joining the priesthood, that's just getting less and less and less because of, rules like this is part of the reason. They're so rigorous. And who can deal in any sort of an institution like that? Yes, okay, of course, all right, he knew that divorce was bad. I'm sure that when he got married, he didn't expect to get divorced. Like when I got married, I didn't expect to get divorced. It happens. It's human emotions, and everybody has to get with the times, and that includes the church. And seriously, to sort of harp on this ridiculous, ancient nonsense, you're just completely sidelining, such a big part of society that maybe would be in the church. Maybe they would find it, a comforting, accepting place to be, rather than no, you can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be here, which is exactly what a ruling like this does. I'm absolutely appalled by it.